I think eating, animals, fish as well, you can't really get those amino acids from a vegan diet long term. I feel better eating meat, knowing that it's grass-fed, finished as well.
I'm going to ask you 5 would you rather questions.
Okay.
Midway, you're going to realize what the topic is, and maybe we can have a bit of a conversation.
Scared. Okay.
You're scared? Don't be scared. That's fine. I'm a gentle person. Okay. Would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Cat.
Dog.
Dog.
Well, that's very fast.
Dog.
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 Okay. How about you?
Dog.
Dog. Can I ask why? All of you? Is it because you love those animals, or?
Yes.
Just be fun to be a dog. Sit on the carpet, fetch a ball. Just kind of like.
Did you say shit on the carpet?
No, I said chill on the carpet.
Chill on the carpet. Okay. I was like, okay, that's a weird thing to like.
I would just want the lifestyle of being a dog with like a good family. Like they just go outside and play and then sleep and eat.
Okay. I like that.
Love the simple life of a dog. I would want that.
Rolling around in the grass.
I appreciate that. Okay. Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
Talk to them.
Talk to animals.
Talk to them.
Probably the senses.
The senses, okay. And you?
Yeah, probably the senses too.
Can I ask why? All of you.
If I could talk to animals, I mean, like, who else can do that? I'd be the only one, so I'd control the animals.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to listen.
Yeah, but I'd just be able to be like, oh, what's good? Like,
yeah, but after it runs out, I'd probably go insane.
I just want to see what they were thinking about, what's in their mind.
So that's a nice one.
I want to talk to my cats.
I love it. How about you? Why would you take this senses?
It'd be cool if I was like as athletic as like a lion or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
It's like smell everything.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have the intelligence of a dog or that of a pig?
Oh, jeez. Trick one.
I would.
Pigs are smart.
Pigs are like the second smartest animal, I think.
Really?
Probably pig.
All right, Schoolie, thank you. I'm a pig.
I'm
Pig.
a dirty
Pig.
pig.
Yeah,
Like
pigs
a
are very intelligent. Yeah.
Like a wild pig.
Yeah, there's videos online of pigs just coming together to lift gates to help other pigs like escape or
that's awesome.
unlock latches. They're also amongst the few animals who have sex for pleasure.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in sanctuaries, there's pigs who go pick up flowers and they bring them back to decorate their house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be a pig.
Yeah, pig.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty intelligent, yes. Okay, the next question is a hard one. Would you rather be a well-fed farm animal whose life is cut severely short when the farmer says you're worth more dead than alive? Or a wild animal who's mostly starving, but you get to live your life free for as long as you want and however you can?
Wild animal.
Wild animal.
Easily.
I don't know. I feel like I'm 50-50.
Can I ask why wild?
Just get to roam free. That's kind of like why I picked dog too. You can just run around, do what you want, do as you please. No stress, no worries of the world.
I like that.
You get to live
I think you have more control of your life if you're the wild animal.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want my life to be cut short.
Yeah. And how about you? Why are you split?
I'm split because on one end it's like I would love to just be free, but then also the other hand, like you don't have to worry about starving to death and I don't know, like taking a piss and worrying about if something's gonna come behind you and kill you.
Fair.
And then if you're a barn animal, you get to experience better pleasures in life, right? Because you don't have to worry about starving, getting next food source.
Fair.
That's my point.
Okay, and my final question is, if you could be a farm animal in today's world, which one would you be? A cow for dairy, a cow for meat, a chicken, or a pig?
Cow for dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cow for dairy. Cow.
I don't know.
Cow for meat, because they're grass-fed sometimes.
Then you would get
You just
killed.
roam
I
though.
feel like being a chicken.
Then you would get killed.
Yeah, but if you're
I'd be so
like
hard of a chicken.
being used for milk, then you're kind of just in like a square your whole life.
Yeah, I'd say it's like
Yeah.
But
So-
Like a free-roaming
Like Tyson.
cow.
So in the dairy industry, do you know what happens in the dairy industry?
No.
Pretty bad.
It's
Yeah.
pretty bad, yeah. So
Okay, so then I'm gonna change my answer.
So cows get forcefully impregnated. The industry term for they get put in a thing where the industry term is called a rape rack. They get held by their
Okay,
throat.
I don't want to do that though.
Somebody inserts their hand on their anus, holds their cervix, injects a metal rod in their vagina, and That's how they impregnate them.
Jeez.
After 9 months, when the baby is born, they separate the baby from the mother because the milk has to go for human consumption. So if the baby is a male, they get to the slaughterhouse
Damn.
because they're useless to the industry. If they're female, they get put into the cycle year over year, like their mothers. For 6 to 8 years, depending on the farm, depending on the breed. They also, after 6 or 8 years, they go to a slaughterhouse themselves because they can no longer produce as much milk as it to be productive, and they can live up to 20 years, so they don't live even half their life. So that's the dairy industry in a nutshell.
Factory farming. Yeah.
It's not just factory. This is standard practice in small farms also. It's that's what because if you don't take away the baby drinks the milk. So it's especially in smaller farms, because in smaller farms the margin of profit is much smaller. So I guess you guys realize why I'm sitting here. I'm trying to have productive conversations, trying to speak on behalf of animals. Do you guys consume animal products?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think we need to consume animal products?
Yeah.
Biologically.
Yeah.
Biologically, we need to.
Yeah.
Would you be surprised to find out that we don't?
I mean, I know how I feel when I eat, a good, like, grass-fed steak, and I know how I feel when I eat worse foods. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best for you, but in where we live in America, the food is terrible and it's pretty poisonous, to be honest with you. So I feel better eating meat, knowing that it's grass-fed, finished as well. So that's my thing. It's not perfect, but I think I need to eat steak.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I think, I don't know, and, there's a law in the U.S. It's you don't even know if it's plant-based or it's actual meat, or it's from a lab, or it's actually grass-fed at this point. There's no labels to determine the two, which I think is the scariest thought, to be honest with you. I agree with him. I just want a nice steak, nothing crazy. And it's horrible because, like you said, the dairy factors in here are fucked up. But that's my take too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you are aware that we don't need it, right? Like you say, it's a choice, right?
Yeah.
And you're well within your right to make choices like that, obviously. But given that there's so much suffering behind these choices, wouldn't you say it's a cruel choice to make, to put these animals to slaughterhouse when we don't need to do it?
I mean, yeah, I guess you don't need to be stuffing yourself. But
So what do you suggest? What would cows be doing then? Just roaming free?
Yeah. So that's. First of all, cows are bred into existence for the sole purpose of being exploited, abused, and then slaughtered.
Yeah.
We just don't breed them into existence, right?
Right.
That's one outcome of this. But I mean, I'm a vegan. I guess you guys kind of realize that. Do you know what veganism is?
No animal byproducts, anything.
Yes. So veganism means I oppose the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of animals for food, clothing, and entertainment. So one of those consequences is that we don't eat animal products because there's suffering behind them, and but it's also we don't go to zoos or shit like that. Wherever they exploit animals, we oppose it because
Exploit.
commodifying animals.
Like a zoo is
You think
exploiting.
animals have the same rights as humans?
No, I don't think animals should have the same rights, but I think animals the animals that we exploit are sentient. Do you know what sentience is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it means they have the capability to feel. They have a subjective experience. If you know how a dog feels like, there's no difference between a dog and a cow. The dogs have emotions. You have seen that. Dogs have dreams. You have seen that. Dogs play. Dogs feel happy, feel sad. Cows do all the same thing. You can even look up online. There's cows playing fetch in sanctuaries and shit like that. So there's to them the way they experience their existence is no difference how they experience their existence versus how a dog would experience their existence. And there's a difference between how we experience existence because we are smart, but there's also stupid people. There's also people who are not capable of intelligence like us humans. So, and we still value them. We don't put them in slaughterhouses, right?
Interrupting Chip here. There is more similarity than difference between how an animal and a human perceive the world. We both feel similar emotions, much the same. But because of our higher intellect, we can also think about the emotions more and thus feel them more intensely. However, the same could be said that because of our higher intellect, we can also try not to feel what we don't want to feel and just focus on thinking about something else, which is probably what most people do with negative emotions anyway. And it's also something that I don't think that animals are capable of doing. So in that way, animals may feel emotions more intensely than us, especially the negative ones.
Say that again?
They're humans, right? They're not animals.
But what is the difference between a human and an animal that says one is okay to be slaughtered and one isn't?
And they're created by God in God's image.
Okay, I'm not religious, I'm sorry, but is that the only difference, that humans have souls?
Yeah, they're
So,
have a higher consciousness.
so with that logic, it's okay to slaughter dogs, exploit them, abuse them, get them.
It's not a lot. It happens. It's not justified though. It's by no means. There's kill shelters in the United
I
States.
do disagree with like factory farming and exploitation of animals, but like I kind of agree with, for example, like Native American culture in the U.S. They used the bison, right, where they would hunt it and it was fair. They didn't put them in factory farming. They hunted them and they used every single part of the animal, so nothing went to waste. I think that's fair.
Is that fair to you? Like if somebody would do that to you, would you find it fair?
Probably, yeah.
Are you sure? Come on.
Why would be dead?
Yeah.
But if you're talking about in the wild, then I think everything is fair, right? Everything is looking for
But this isn't the wild.
survival. I realize that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I wish I could have the means to go and hunt my own food, like elk or something. They live wild lives, and I think it's fair because you have a chance, right? You have a chance of surviving in that place where you live in the forest or whatnot. And if you use the entirety of the animal and you respect it, then I think that's sustainable.
But is it really respecting the animal if you're killing them unnecessarily?
Unnecessarily, it's definitely disrespecting them, but
But we have choices, right? We don't have to kill the animal. We can eat vegan. Well, we can survive on a vegan food. You can
Stuff
thrive on it.
are just natural byproducts, though. Like leather is a natural byproduct. I know
It's not.
it is a
not.
natural byproduct.
Let-
Because the
so
cow's
let-
gonna die anyway. And
So the cows grown for leather are different cows than the cows grown for dairy, are different cows than the cows grown for meat. All of these are different breeds of cows, so they're not the same. So they're not byproduct, no.
Interrupting Chip here. Leather is a byproduct of the meat or dairy industry, so I was wrong about that. However, the cows for meat and the cows for dairy are different. That's what led me to believe that the cows for leather are also different. But alas, that is wrong.
The whole animal is being used, if that's what you're concerned. Yeah, in the whole industry, the whole animal is being used.
Yeah.
But with that, would you be okay with some like Jeffrey Dahmer saying, "It's okay, don't worry, I'll use all parts of you after I kill you"?
no, but that's because you don't need to eat humans to survive.
But you also don't need to eat animals to survive.
I think for me to be optimal in my health, I like to eat animals.
And that's a like, right? Not a need.
I feel like it's a need for myself.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I don't think a vegan diet is sustainable long term.
Okay.
How long have you been vegan?
2 years.
2 years.
And vegetarian 6 before that.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason why I do this is because I was a vegetarian thinking that, it's good for the animals, but
It's really that.
it's not.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it was about the dairy industry. So I want to tell more people about it. The more people get informed about the consequences of their choices, maybe more people want to change, right?
Yeah, totally.
So what is keeping you guys from changing? I understand you have an issue with nutrition, but if I give you resources on how to have the absolute best nutrition on a vegan diet, would that help you out?
I don't think it's sustainable from what I've read and how I feel. Like I know my body. I think eating animals, fish as well, you can't really get those amino acids from a vegan diet long term, and I think that it just suits me.
All plants have all amino acids because the amino acids originally come from plants. It's just, where do you think the animals get it from?
Well, it's not hard. I mean, it's hard to do that because you can take tribes, right, uncontacted tribes, and they have fishing villages, right? That's sustainable for them. In terms of that, like I think it.
But you don't live in those tribes.
I know I don't, but
Right.
I don't think that I would function at a higher power by not eating meat. And I agree
Okay.
with you that I don't like how animals are exploited. I don't like zoos either and stuff like that. But for me, I think, I'm not perfect. I think I need to.
But say you find out tomorrow that if you eat dogs, you get 10% a boost in energy, 10% in power. Would you eat dogs?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
No. So
Because I have an emotional connection to dogs. Like, I've had.
not to all dogs, right? You had to some dogs.
Not all dogs, but when I see a dog, I always hope it comes up to me so I can pet it.
Okay.
I like dogs. I like
Yeah.
animals.
Well, what is the difference between a dog and a cow that says one deserves to die and one doesn't?
There's really no difference.
No
but
difference.
It's just how I like to eat. I know that's not really perfect because they're exploited, but if I wasn't able to do that, I would be hunting for my own food. I would try that.
So there's no way for you, like you don't really value animals at all.
That's not true.
Well, if you kill them unnecessarily, I wouldn't say you value them.
Well, I wouldn't say that's unnecessary to eat at optimal efficiency. I don't think that's unnecessary because it's sustaining my long-term health. Because I try not to eat meat that is pumped with hormones and antibiotics and stuff like that. So if they're grass-fed, free roaming, I always try to get that. It's a bit expensive, but that's just where we live. And I don't have the means to hunt sustainably myself yet. Hopefully I will later in life, but that's what I think.
Yeah, but like obviously I can think that if I do something, if I start doing some weird shit, I can think that I'll be better. Doesn't mean it's true, right? That's why we have professionals. That's why we have nutritionists. That's why we have all of these studies being done, that empirical evidence where it's clearly shown that you can thrive on a vegan diet, right? So it's not like your body is any way different than anybody else's, or that much different that you would say, oh no, you absolutely cannot, right? So it's merely about finding out what works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's meaning about finding what works for you. As far as I understand, yeah, maybe some of the things that you have tried so far, maybe they haven't worked out for you, but you also haven't contacted a professional. You also haven't done any of it, right? So if you, let's say tomorrow, all the meat in the supermarket that you find, all the meat in the world is dog meat, would you still continue having it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because maybe you see, maybe in cases like this, maybe that's when you say, okay, maybe I need to look into it, right? Because what I'm trying to show you is that you can survive, you can thrive, you can be extremely healthy on it. In fact, there are several studies showing that your heart health, it's better for the heart health to not have saturated fats, which most animal products do have. So in that sense, you can thrive maybe even better and have a higher longevity is tied to plant-based eating more. But aside from all of this, right, you understand what the issue is with the animals. You understand it's cruel to do this to them. You understand it's bad to do this unnecessarily. So don't you think it's a contradiction to say, oh, I know it's cruel, I know it's bad, but I do it anyway?
Well, I don't think it's bad to eat animals. I think it's bad to
kill animals unnecessarily.
I
If
agree.
you were like starving on an island, you wouldn't eat an animal.
Maybe, but that's not the case that we're in
Like,
right
I
now,
would
right?
eat a human, but I would eat an animal.
To be honest, I don't know. Like maybe if I was in a starving on an island, I would value companionship more.
Yeah.
But if it came to me versus the animal, I would obviously choose myself. Just like it were me and another human, I would choose myself. But that's not the situation that you're in.
The humans.
Say it again.
You would eat the humans.
I don't know if I could anyway, but like, or even kill the animal myself. But like, that's not the situation that we're put in a day-to-day basis, right? We're not in a situation where.
Figure out like where you're coming from.
Yeah. So my whole point is, if it's not needed to kill animals, then why would we do it? That's it. That's all.
Understand.
Like if you're in situations where you can choose to go vegan, why not choose the vegan option? And if you look at it that way, you realize that you always have an option. There's always an option. It's just never, it never comes up with I have to kill the animal. I have to put animals.
Like evolved to eat animals.
I mean,
Our teeth.
we're evolved to eat animals just like we're evolved to have dairy, right? Like, doesn't necessarily mean it's good for us or that we should do it. Just like my fist is evolved to punch people doesn't mean I should punch people, right? Or we're evolved to do a lot of things, but we also thrive plant-based. It's better for our intestines to be on a plant-based diet. So yeah,
All right, we'll take it into consideration, brother. We're gonna
take it into consideration. Yeah, you guys don't want to look. You don't want some resources to look into it more.
I know how I feel. I think
know
when
how you feel?
when I eat, but I appreciate the conversation.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not saying I will never, but I try to listen to my body and see how it reacts to what I put in it. So,
But you know what the problem with listening to your body is? The problem is that if your body says, for example, that it wants sugar, because sometimes you eat sugar and your body says it wants sugar, it doesn't mean sugar is healthy for you, right? So your body isn't always telling you what's best for you or what's best for everything.
well,
That's why we
Processed
have.
sugar isn't bad for you, but is bad for you, rather. But
I mean, what I mean.
fruit, which also has fiber to counteract the blood sugar in your body, that's healthy. You know, we've been eating that for thousands of years, but you can't sustain that because there's not enough protein in fruits, so that's why we've eaten.
Yeah, but your body, if you see like this lollipop, your body will tell you have it, right? If you see this nice chocolate, your body will tell you have it. So
Well,
listening to your body isn't always the best way. It's not like your body is.
It's because we're so accustomed to it. I think, you know, I'm accustomed to eating meat, just as like, you know, vegans is, you know, in India, that's a big part of their culture is veganism. They're accustomed to that, right? So their bodies kind of naturally develop from that, right? It's just how I was brought up, and I think sustainably killing animals is fair. I do think that. I believe that. But I don't agree with factory farming. That's why I try to mitigate that. I'm not going to go vegan, but I take steps to kind of do my part. You know, I don't go to zoos. I don't like any stuff like that where it's exploiting animals. Mass fishing, you know, I don't like that. But when I see people sustainably hunt or cultures that thrive off fish and use the fish or use every part of whatever they're hunting and respect it, I think that's fair.
But then we're going in circles because you're not really respecting the animal if you're killing them and you don't need to. Even if you're using the whole parts of them, right? You're still taking their life.
You are taking their life, but someone else is going to take their life as well. That's why it's the wild. You know, it's fair game.
Yeah,
right?
But these cows,
if that dog was in the wild right now, it would either kill something.
But we're not in the wild.
Or it would kill them.
Interrupting Chip here, one thing I wanted to add was that it's a false equivalence to assume that in the wild you either kill or be killed. There are plenty animals that don't get killed, but rather die of natural causes or even accidents.
We're not in the wild, are we?
We aren't in the wild, but we created this. We evolved into everything here. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but I think that I think it's still fair. You know, to be respectful to animals and also use them as your fuel for your body.
So you think it's respectful to bring animals to life, exploit them, and then kill them because we want to for taste,
but it's not realistic.
For tradition or
it's
whatever.
It's not realistic. For me to be perfect, it's not realistic with that.
But this isn't perfect,
I don't have
right?
unlimited amount of money to create my own pastures and hunt my own food. You know, but. That's just how it is.
But you have enough money to not kill any animal. And survive on and thrive on that.
I don't think the vegan diet is sustainable.
But
long term.
I mean, you can think that, but there's several vegans who have been vegan for tens of years, right?
Of course there are.
And it's not the.
But I personally know a lot of people that have tried to go vegan or vegetarian, and then they switch back to meat because their bodies depleted.
None of those people had nutritionists, spoke to nutritionists, or that's why I'm saying like
doctors.
But doctors are not nutritionists; they're not
right. But they did
right?
study nutrition in medical school, so they do have
Barely.
some kind of background.
Yeah, I was about to hop on Trev.
All right, there we go. All right, I gotta go.
Okay.
I respect you for the convo, though. I appreciate it.
Think about it. You know,
I will.
We don't need to kill animals.
I do my part. So I tried.